Hello, once again, you are welcome to my channel, Literature Made Simple, where we have been on the journey of making literature easier and simpler than a lot of people think or can ever think of. Today, we are going to look at a very powerful and inspirational poem written by an inspirational and powerful figure, Maya Angelou, a woman who has seen it all from being nothing, rising through the ranks, going through her own ups and downs, and becoming famous, celebrated, and successful. Successful not principally maybe financially, but in the world of academia. And one of her poems is on the chopping board today. So when I say it's on the chopping board today, what I actually mean is that it's the poem that I'll be taking you through. So I'll be first of all reading through the poem with you or for you. Then I'll do a stanza by stanza analysis of the poem. And if time permits me, I'll now look at some themes. Then another class, I'll take you through some devices as present in the poem. So we start with the introduction. I wouldn't be reading what I have on the screen word for word. That is for you to read. I will just try to explain for you. So as a way of introducing you to the poem, Still I Rise by Maya Angelou is a poem that was written based on resistance, based on the pride in her race as a Black woman. It also encourages female empowerment, resistance against oppression, and a lot more. One of the most interesting or fascinating part of the poem for me or to me is her tone, defiance, never giving up, never caring about whatever the oppressor is doing to keep her down, and her confidence, and finally how she succeeded, her triumph at the end of the poem. Now, let me start with the title. I'm someone who always likes to make you understand from the beginning. I Rise as a title means that you fell or you were on the ground and you got up. So you rose. So I rise indicates a fall. This fall could be literal, it could be literary or figurative. So something caused you to fall. It could be emotional falling. It could be psychological falling. It could be any kind of falling. But you are a determined person who isn't ready to be kept down. So you have to rise from the fall. That is the I rise. Now, this is the fun part of the poem for me. Still I rise, the title. Still means that there could be repeated action keeping you down, but that still couldn't keep you there. You rose. It could be that the rising isn't your first time of falling, but you still rose. So basically, that's the title, and that is a form of introduction. Now let's zoom. I'll first do the reading, then we start the stanza by stanza analysis. All right. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may throw me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I will rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. That's interesting. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard? 'Cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. Wow. Sorry for the laughter. It's so funny and interesting. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like air, I will rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Whoa, that's vulgar. Out of the hearts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, whirling and swelling, I bear in the tides. I like the rhyme there. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise into a daybreak that's wondrous clear. I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. So that brings us to the end of the reading of the poem. And from the reading alone, you know we are going to do something very fascinating, very intriguing, very intelligent, and I love that. So now let's start with the stanza by stanza analysis. So we start with stanza one. Now, the first stanza says that you may write me down in history. So you is the second person singular or plural, which directly addresses someone. When you use the second person, you are addressing, the speaker is addressing a listener directly. So starting with you sums up the title Still I Rise. So somebody is keeping him down, a head down, sorry. Somebody is trying to oppress her. You may write me down in history. So this is a direct statement to the oppressor. Now, write me down in history may suggest a lot of things, may suggest degrading her, may suggest distortion of Black history, may suggest a lot of negativity. And you may try to do that with your bitter, twisted lies. So, bitter, twisted lies implies here racism, misrepresentation, distortion, wickedness, hatred, bitter, twisted lies. But still, like dust, I will rise. Like dust is simile. We'll look at simile as a form of metaphor in the next lesson. I will rise. Dust always rises when disturbed. You know, dust settles on the floor or on the ground. When you disturb the dust here simply means that you do something like walk over it, blow air to it, it rises. So Angelou is trying to say here that no matter what you do to me, I will never be defeated. I will never give up. You may distort my history by writing me down. You may try to press me. You may try to twist things, but I will never give up. I will still rise from the dust. So basically, no matter what history tries to suppress her, she still gets out of it because of time. So stanza two. Does my sassiness upset you? Here, there's a mocking tone. Being sassy means being bold. You know, it reflects confidence. It reflects self-assurance. It's like someone is trying to bring you down. And the attempt to bring you down is to kill your confidence, is to destroy your self-image. But this persona in the poem, this persona is still bold, is still sassy. So now she's asking a rhetorical question. Does my sassiness upset you? Rhetorical questions are questions that does not demand immediate answering. Why are you engulfed in gloom, sadness? Why are you beset with gloom? So it's like everything that is happening, instead of what you are doing to me to affect me, you are rather being sad because you are not achieving your aim. Then, cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. So here we are talking about wealth, abundance, self-worth. Someone who has refused to allow negativity to affect her value for herself, to affect her self-confidence. So oil wells pumping in my living room. We are talking about gold mines. We are talking about drilling of oil. And this is happening directly in her living room, telling you how rich she is and how you can never take away that riches from her. So basically, stanza one is a warning. You cannot suppress me. Whatever you do, you can never suppress me. Stanza two is bringing out her confidence to buttress her point in stanza one, why she's saying she can never be suppressed. Stanza three, just like moons and like suns, a lot of similes here. So the moon, the sun, the tides are all natural images or imageries that you can never suppress the moon. If it's time to shine, it will shine. You can never suppress the sun. If it is its time to shine, it's to shine. I know if you're in class with me, you ask me, what about cloudy days that the sun does not shine? It is not the sun's time to shine at that moment. Something else is taking place, but it will come back to shine. So these natural occurrences as used here with the certainty of tides. So that it's like they are constant, they will happen. Just like hope springing high, still I will rise. We do not experience tides every day. That does not mean tides will not come, they will definitely come. We do not see the sun every day. That does not mean the sun will stop shining, it will still shine. So no matter what you do to me, my rising is inevitable. It is constant. It is natural. I will definitely rise out of the dust, out of your twisted lies, out of your negativity, out of your oppressions, out of your suppressions. I will rise. Now we move to the next stanza. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? What these are rhetorical questions asking, what were your intentions of twisting history? What did you stand to achieve by doing all that you did to me? To see me broken, crying myself to stupor, to death? No. And this is directly linking slavery and how slaves were treated. Shoulders falling down like teardrops, sadness, defeat, crying, giving up. But if that is what society expects from her, then she refused to give them what they want. She is a woman living at a time where women were not given that kind of recognition, but she will never give up. Next, does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard? Because I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. Don't forget, oil wells were pumping in her living room. Now gold mines are digging in her own backyard. She's full of riches. Haughtiness is pride. You see, you threaten me, you try to break me, and you still see me shoulders high, pride or proud, telling you that I'm not the type that you can easily break. Gold mines digging the backyard, I said it already. Inner world, self-value, backyard still within her household. Her confidence can never be broken. That is all she's saying here. Then the next stanza, it says that you may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like air, I rise. No matter what you do to me, you cannot keep me down. I will still rise. Violence, like there were a lot of, one thing about this poem is that it's full of imagery. Violence, there were a lot of violence, shooting, cutting, killing, which represents hate speech, discrimination, racism, violation. But this lady or this persona, just like her, she will rise. She can never be kept down. Okay, so I'll take all the rest together, stanza 7 and stanza 8 with 9 together because of time. So stanza 7 is now back to celebrate the female beauty. I'm using female beauty because the persona is a female, but by extension, the black beauty. And here she's challenging societal shame, what society does to them. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds, oil wells, gold mines, diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? You know, there was a time in history where blacks women were not seen as complete humans, and sex with them, sorry for that, was like it was vulgar. So are you surprised when you saw me? You could see the meeting of my thighs. That is very. I don't want to go so deep into that, but it's an imagery. The two thighs when they meet, the pride of a woman is there, but this pride is not seen. Finally, when they open her, like naked hair, and they saw that, did her sexiness upset them? Were they upset that, oh, she's so beautiful down there? She's so elegant. She's more than we thought or we think she can ever be. So you see, this woman or this persona is reclaiming her ownership of what? Femininity and her confidence of being a woman without an apology, or being a black woman without an apology, showing here. Out of the heart of history, shame, I rise. You know, whatever that she's going through is rooted in history. It's an ancestral suffering. It is a communal suffering. It is a collective suffering. She didn't go through it alone, but she rises. Despite history, she still rises. She didn't give up. She didn't remain on the ground. She rises from history. Out of the hearts of history's shame, I rise. Out of that history that people don't rise, I rise. So she never gave up. Then the repetition. Repetitions in literature are for emphasis. So the repetition, I rise, I rise, I rise. Fulfillment of her ancestral dreams. The rhythm, the power, the victory, the liberation, the collective victory, not just individual or personal. So basically, my Angelou is just telling you readers that no matter what you do to her, she'll rise. She'll never remain in the darks. And I think because of time, we'll end today's lesson here. See me or see you in the next lesson with the themes. Bye-bye.